women, in terms of women working and so on. So it was extremely challenging. So one of the key things that I think which helped me was I wanted to work in a country which didn't allow me to work. And he did not feel very protective about that. Okay, so he let go. He said, as long as you take care of yourself, you can do what you want. And I really took it the other extreme. Lots of stories of working with the local people, and I'm planning to pen them down as short stories. We have come back to India after 30 years in the Gulf, and probably you'll see a book very soon based on that. So you never know, when I was looking back on that time. But I will try and give you a couple of things which are very, very important tips. So, suppose you're getting married, two people, you're going out on a date, 23, 24, 25, 26, 30, whatever. Suppose you commit to each other and say we are going to get married. One thing we need to keep in mind is, whatever happened in the previous 24 years was their personal life. Make sure you have a clean slate when you start affair. Because what happens in majority of cases is memories and past impressions come in the way of the first initial years of marriage, right? So I think Prakash had very clearly mentioned, and we both had a pact. Whatever it was before, we all have crushes, we all have probably got some thoughts about certain areas, how things should be. We have massive images and so on. But it's not necessary, it should carry on to the marriage first. So I think that is the previous part. Once you get married, I think one of the key things, I'll share a short story. Okay? Many of you may know about this story. This is about when Shiva and Parvati were going to get married. Okay? What happened was, in this particular, Parvati was from a very well-to-do, king, and she was a queen. The parents had not seen Shiva at all. So what had happened was, she had decided that she's going to get married to Shiva, and Shiva was supposed to bring the entire troupe of his. Now, Shiva looked very, very scary. He came on a bullock, on the Nandi, on a bull, and his entire entourage was all inebriated people. पिए हुए लोग, ऐसे मतलब the parents of Parvati, when they saw this, told people, they said, "You're sure you want to marry this guy? He's not the kind of guy that, we can give our daughter to happily." And they closed the kingdom's door completely. So when they came to the the door of the kingdom, everything was closed. So then she started praying, and the prayer that she did was, "Shiva, there is something called perception. Can you just make sure you match the perception of what is the expectation of my parents?" Suddenly there was a change, and he looked really nice, very beautiful, handsome. The doors of the kingdom, they couldn't believe what happened. Everybody was extremely nice, well-dressed, nice music, and the whole Bharat came in, and they both got married. What I'm trying to say is, there is a face that you see initially of the person when you're in love, okay? That may not be the true face. Everybody will have a face that is true and a face that it is not. And that kind of peels over a period of time. And you need to have a very honest confession about what are the areas which are very good about you and your weaknesses. So if you do that early on in the marriage, it's extremely helpful as you move forward. The last point I think I'd like to say is, post-marriage, two things. One, since we are in the vegan, vegetarian movement for so long, and I've also done that in the Middle East for so many people and met a lot of people with respect to health, is child delivery. I would urge that if you're having a kid, go for a normal delivery as much as possible, because immunity is built in the tract of the mother delivering the baby. Now, this is something that the doctors community has totally messed up, is my view. They scare the people in a very vulnerable moment to have whatever, C-section or whatever. And I think the immunity that we are facing today and the lack of immunity, so as to say, with many of the speakers said about all the problems because of lack of immunity, because of childbirth. Yeah. So I have in my book, if I write one, I will definitely be making sure how he was right by my side throughout the process in Saudi, and we had a very informed call on this particular topic. So please, if you are having kids, make sure as much as possible it is a natural delivery. A lot of people are there to help you out with that. Yeah. Last point that I want to make is the food. We all love food, and whether the husband cooks or not, this guy, he says that he tried to cook when his parents would go out, they would give him all the recipes and go, and then he cooked and he couldn't eat it himself. So I don't know if it's an excuse or not, but I love cooking. So I love making tasty food, and they say that the